This is the Financial News Network. I'm Christy Duffy. Intel is reporting its fourth quarter financial results after the closing bell today. The tech company reported an EPS of 59 cents, revenue of $11.5 billion, which beat the street consensus for 53 cents EPS and $11.38 billion in revenue. So revenue and EPS did beat street estimates. Looking at the full year results now, revenue was $43.6 billion, EPS coming in $2.05. Joining me now to discuss the positive results for Intel is Mahesh Sanganeria of RBC Capital Markets. Thanks for coming on, Mahesh.
Thank you.
What were your earnings per share expectation, and did Intel measure up?
Yeah, I had 53 cents in line with consensus, so they significantly beat the numbers.
Okay, and according to tech research firm Gartner, PC sales were not as fair as expected in the fourth quarter of 2010, PC shipments increasing by 3.1% year over year to about 93.5 million in the fourth quarter, but that's still below the forecast of 4.8%. Going off these figures, was Intel's revenues below what you expected?
Well, I think what happened that going into the quarter, Intel had probably factored in that the PC sales are not going to be so robust, and but I think the enterprise, the server segment did pretty good. So overall, I think they were able to beat the numbers. So I think they had anticipated the weakness in the market, and the consumer, and the weakness is more focused in consumer and in the developed countries. The developing countries and the enterprise still looks good.
Do you see the downtrend of PC sales eating at Intel revenue by cannibalizing tablet sales long term?
I think that might chip away at the edges, but I don't think that there is going to be a significant. I mean, if you look at the PC market, probably there is only 20% of the market is developed country consumer, and that's the one that is more likely to switch to tablets. And I think so. I could see growth rate getting cut by 1% or 2%, but I don't think there's going to be a significant impact to the PC sales from tablets.
Okay, and how much of an impact did Intel's $1.5 billion settlement payment to NVIDIA have on its balance sheet? Did you see that?
Yeah, they'll have to. That's probably they're going to put 1.3 billion as a liability. But in terms of their earnings, it affects the gross margin by about 70 basis points. And even with that headwind, they're guiding for a pretty good gross margin for 2011, 65%. And historically, the peak gross margin has been close to 60%. So they're doing pretty good in terms of gross margins.
Okay, and Intel's share price was $21.29 at market close today, Thursday, finishing fractionally lower just before its earnings results were published. So where do you expect the stock to turn heading into Friday's trading day?
So I think stocks should do much better. I think as what we'll try to get in the earnings call, we'll try to understand more what's the plan for those $9 billion in CapEx. We were expecting Intel to spend about $5 billion in CapEx in 2011, and they are guiding for $9 billion. So that's a huge surprise, and that could be holding the stock a little bit. I think what they're going to say on the call is that they're planning for a nice revenue growth, and that's the reason they're spending that much. And I think once that gets settled, I think stock should work.
All right, what's your price target on Intel?
26.
Okay, great. Thanks very much, Mahesh. Mahesh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mahesh Sanganeria of RBC Capital Markets. For further earnings updates, stay tuned. You're watching the Financial News Network. I'm Christy Duffy.